Hello guys, welcome back to DR Sports. Welcome back to Lyle at 5, as we're calling
Lyle
it.
At 5.
Yeah, we've renamed the show.
Have.
I've got Laurie with me. How are you doing?
I'm all right, man. I'm looking forward to this show. I mean, listen, this transfer window now, it's legendary. It's already.
Yeah, it
I
is.
can't think of another
There's one
transfer
for the books,
window.
innit?
Like
Just every day there's something new.
every day, man.
There's just this person, that
Sometimes
person's
even
new.
as we're leaving the studio,
Yeah,
there's
exactly.
another story. You think, oh wow.
That was me last night after we did all the Trossard talk, just to find out he's staying. Like, do you know what I mean? It's
Amazing.
crazy. But there's so much to talk about. But obviously, there's only one place to start.
One place to start, man.
And that's back at square one with Alexander Isak. So last night, obviously, Alexander Isak, he was he won an award for PFA Team of the Year, which deservedly so. He played really well last season.
I'm surprised he never got one for teammate of the year as well. But anyway, yeah, carry on.
So he got into PFA Team of the Year, which we can all say is very deserved. He obviously wasn't at the ceremony last night, but this led him to put out a statement. I'm going to read it out to you guys, right? He said, "I'm proud to be recognised by my fellow professionals with a place in the PFA Premier League Team of the Season for 24-25. First and foremost, I want to thank my teammates and everyone at Newcastle who has supported me along the way. I'm not at the ceremony tonight. With everything going on, it didn't feel right to be there. I've kept quiet for a long time while others have spoken. That silence has allowed people to push their own version of events, even though they know it doesn't reflect what was really said and agreed behind closed doors. The reality is that promises were made, and the club has known my position for a long time. To now act as if these issues are only emerging is misleading. When promises are broken and trust is lost, the relationship can't continue. That's where things are for me right now, and why change is in the best interest of everyone, not just myself." That's from Alexander. He put that out on his Instagram last night as the award ceremony was happening. I mean, what do you think of that? That's a very poignant statement.
Yeah, it is. And what is the one glaring omission from that? When you read that through, what is the one glaring omission?
He basically
from
said,
that
"I'm not
statement?
coming back."
No, what he's missed out in there is the word
Yeah,
fans. He's not shown
He said Newcastle
any
and teammates and just
people who support me.
Yeah.
Like, he's not mentioned the Newcastle fans, which is a staggering omission in my view, and one that I'm sure the Newcastle fans will feel very insulted by. But anyway, you know what I'm going to say about that, right? So it's very interesting because when I was on this show with you yesterday, I actually said that I would have thought that he must have been watching the show.
Yeah, exactly, man.
The one thing that I would have wanted or expected Isak to do was put out some kind of holding statement to explain his position. You don't have to go like into chapter and verse.
Yeah.
Just basically say, acknowledge the situation and say, look, it's not ideal. I'm sorry for what's happened. Me and the club, we've got differences of opinion. It's not what you think it is. He could have said that, but, I would like you to assure you that I'm hoping to get this resolved, and hopefully we can resolve it in the best interest of, some kind of holdings. And the reason why I said that, I mean, some people say, yeah, it's best to keep his counsel, but I'm not so sure about that. We're living in a different world now. We're living in the world of social media with greater transparency where, you expect people to be a bit more accountable for their actions. Anyway, I said that, and then we get the statement.
Yeah.
I've got to say, though, having released that statement, now people are going to say this is why you shouldn't have released the statement, because if anything, he's made it worse. Yeah,
well, that's why yesterday when we were talking about it, that's why I said I personally don't think there should be a statement, because 9 times out of 10 it makes it worse. So now we've got, as well, just to go back to it, Newcastle then released a statement afterwards, essentially saying that they're very disappointed in what he put out on social media. And that essentially the club didn't promise him anything, and they're waiting that basically he needs to earn his way back to playing for Newcastle, and
it's got very messy.
I
mean, like I said, with myself, I just thought that a short statement, if not explaining chapter and verse, would have just put it out there that, hey, look, I've acknowledged that things are not looking good right now. Yeah. But I am working to try and sort this out. I apologise. You know what I mean? Something like that. But anyway, he didn't do it. He's done it now. And like we said, he's made it worse. I mean, a couple of things from the statement, as well as not mentioning the fans, which I thought was a real faux pas. This thing about broken promises, man, let's start with that. So, listen, we don't know what went on in those smoky-filled rooms, or not smoky-filled rooms. But we don't know what went on between Alexander Isak and the club. I'm not going to take a side either way on that. He may well have been promised, he may well not have. But you know what I say about promises?
Yeah.
What do people say about promises when you're growing up?
What?
A promise is a comfort to a fool. I remember
Yeah, it's true. Promise is meant to be broken.
Yeah, exactly. My mum and dad used to tell me that all the time. A promise is a comfort to a fool. And the reason why I say that is that even if Alexander Isak, you were promised that, where is this in writing? This so-called gentleman's agreement. There's no gentleman in football. There is no such thing about a gentleman's agreement. You're relying on the goodwill of other people. You cannot conduct business like that. If there was such an agreement made, then it should have been in writing, and not only in writing, it should have been legally binding. Because sometimes, you know that expression, things are not worth the paper they're written on. Yeah. So even then, to protect your interests, if you're in a workplace, this is my advice to you, if you're ever in a workplace and somebody says, we agree to pay you more, blah, 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 get it in writing.
Yeah, where's my contract?
And make sure that, you know what I mean, that is legally binding, so that if you ever do go to a tribunal, you've got that to say, well, look, this is what I was promised and it's not been delivered upon. So there's that. Yeah. And listen, it would appear that Newcastle are obviously upset about it. They've issued their rebuttal. Yeah. And, you know what I mean? This
apparently now Newcastle are so furious. They're saying you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, well,
they're almost now like maybe before, because if we remember rightly, when Liverpool put in that second bid, essentially, basically Newcastle rejected it, but they essentially said to Liverpool, right, we will message you essentially when we're ready if that's going to happen this summer. So there's a level of intention there. At least they're like, right, there's a possibility that we will sell Alexander Isak as long as we go into the market and get our targets and make sure that we cover that area and striker position, which as of right now they haven't been able to do. Now it sounds like they're saying, nah, you guys not going nowhere.
This could get very sticky, very nasty. I mean, the way it's looking right now, with this statement, the way Newcastle have responded, the reaction of the fans and everyone else, I would be surprised if this situation is resolved by September the 1st. Yeah. I can see him leaving, because I mean, at the end of the day, I can't see a situation where he's just going to stay at Newcastle ad nauseum. They're having to pay him every week. He's not training, he's not playing. I mean, it's just not a good look for all parties. So at some point, somebody's got to step up and say, right, this is what we're going to do. And then the other side's going to have to, you know what I mean, concede something. But at the moment,
I mean, it's just
September the 1st, it's looking like, to me, right now anyway, Alexander Isak will remain a Newcastle player whether he likes it or not.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Newcastle are essentially saying. They're saying you're not going anywhere. And you know what? The guy's got, as I keep saying, it's not like he's got a year left. The guy's got 3 years left. So, to be honest, it's not even like Newcastle are in threat of losing him for free next season, or do you know what I mean? They actually have 3 years left of him, and
but it's not ideal for them either, because they're having to pay him every week. He's not.
But you do have to say though that if Newcastle basically turn around to say, which apparently they are at the moment, saying you're not going to leave us. He has either two choices. You either play for Newcastle or you go and sit in under 21s. And he's 25 years old. He's got 3 years left. Imagine if Newcastle say, we're not selling you. That's it. Locked in.
Well, they're one of the few clubs in this country that could underwrite something like that.
Richest owners in the league. Do you know what I mean? They could turn around and say, yeah, mate, see how you acted? We need you. We haven't got in our strikers options. We've got to do what's best for the club. As of right now, you're our player for the next 3 years. You're here for the next 3 years.
Yeah, I hear you. Although, let's be honest, that's unlikely to happen.
Yeah, it's unlikely, but we can't write off.
They could do it, yeah. I mean, listen, the best case scenario would be to sell him. But, you know, as has been pointed out several times, they're unlikely to do so until they've got a replacement. Yeah. And they don't have one yet. I mean, it's been talked that if they were able to secure the services of Wissa, who's yet another one who's behaved extraordinarily badly, then you know what I mean, that could happen there. But I don't know, man. It's difficult.
It's mind-boggling, isn't it? It's so funny because when this all kind of started, I remember doing a show of AGT and we both sat here and we were like, we can't really see Isak being the type of guy who doesn't turn up to training, kind of forces a move, and he's actually turned out to be that type of guy.
Done, yeah.
It's just...
And that's what's another thing that's surprised me a lot by this whole saga is that It just goes to show you can never tell a book by its cover. Coming out with all these sayings today, but it's true. I mean, Alexander Isak, to me, comes across as quite introverted, quite mild-mannered. I don't think he's somebody that's given to histrionics and, you know what I mean, and behaviour like this. I just didn't see it coming, but it just goes to show, man, that you never truly know a person until something happens. I mean, he's behaved very unprofessionally, to say the least. And I've got to say as well, his agent or the people who are advising him, what's happening there?
Honestly.
Like, surely, I mean, this is just so wrong on so many levels. He just seems to have played this so badly. I'm actually quite surprised at how badly he's played this. He couldn't have got it more wrong in my
That's why I've been saying from the beginning, I just think the whole timing of all of this has been just so poor from his side and the agent side. When Liverpool came in, just say then and just be honest with Newcastle and say, look, I've had a great time here, but you know, a club that's just won the league wants me and I can't turn that down. Then the club might look at him and be like, right, Alex, cool, but we also need to focus on our striker targets. And then maybe Newcastle could have assessed that first bid differently and said to Liverpool, like, right, we're willing to sell him because we've got somebody else that we want to get in Ekitike, which they completely missed out on because Alexander Isak kept quiet in that time. So I just think it's just poor.
How not to conduct a transfer.
Just even the statement, I read it and I was like, this is such a if I'm a Newcastle fan, if I'm Matty Renton, I'm like, what a distasteful statement to all of those fans that support you. We saw on the screen just a moment ago of that massive tifo that Newcastle fans did last season, where they had literally the whole stand Isak written in, you know, the Swedish colours. Do you know what I mean? The love that club's giving you, not even a moment in that statement was there any type of love or adoration.
He's not even mentioned
the fans. He's not even mentioned the fans.
I mean, he said in there, who has supported me along the way. So there's no like reaching out to the fans or acknowledgement of the fans. It's all about me. First and foremost, I want to thank my teammates and everyone at Newcastle United who has supported me along the way. I mean, couldn't have got this more wrong. Who drafted this for him, man? I mean, and it's just so poor from Isak, and it's a shame because he's an excellent player.
Yeah, it is.
You seem like an all-round good guy. I mean, I've never seen anything that kind of.
If you'd asked me before, I would say this is a model professional, someone who turns up for work and does really good. Do you know what I mean? He's done something incredible for the club by winning them their first trophy in about 70 odd years. Fantastic. But like to go from such a high of being like, right, this guy's a legend of the club, he's won us something for the first time in forever, to now being like, you hearing people calling him a traitor and a rat and stuff like that. It's just night and day, isn't it?
It's the classic hero to zero. And let's be honest as well, this does not reflect well on him professionally. Even, I mean, people were saying the other day that if he was to go back to Newcastle, forget about that. He will get booed at every single ground he goes to because fans don't like this type of stuff. Maybe Liverpool fans might be accepting of it now because, you know, they're thinking they're going to get an excellent player. So they'll be all right with it. But I can guarantee you now, he will get booed at every ground he goes to. And no doubt he will say, I can handle that, I don't care, kind of stuff. But it's not a good look for him, really, is it? When you consider where he was. Yeah. Everybody admired him. Listen, when he played against us, I was singing his praises, and obviously I'm an Arsenal fan. When he's stuck it on Arsenal a few times last season. Yeah. But I was in admiration for him because he's a very, very good player, very good to watch, seems to conduct himself very, very well. You know, like some players, they're very arrogant and a bit kind of standoffish. He didn't seem that way at all to me. He just seemed like the kind of guy you think, yeah, man, he seems like a good guy. Yeah. But the way he's handled this, I'm sorry, it's just not been good at all. He couldn't have got it more wrong. I mean, even going back a few weeks now, that ridiculous training at Sociedad.
Like even that, for example. Eddie Howe basically saying in his press conference, I found out where he was on by Sky News. That's crazy.
Supposing something had happened to him.
You don't know, but like this is where you can understand why this is why you can understand that Newcastle as a whole are just so angry, because didn't they deserve a phone call to say at least like, right, I'm not coming to training because I want this move, but at least you've told them. Do you know what I mean? Instead, you just dipped up, you went AWOL. That's what Craig Cope, who is, you know, one of the top professionals in this space in terms of journalism, was saying. So when you got Eddie Howe going on press conference, because I watched it,
I saw it as well.
That was before we played them.
Yeah. The man said, the first time I found out was when I saw it on Sky.
Bro basically said, I found out via media on television where he was. What does that say?
And supposedly those two had a good relationship. Yeah. That's what Eddie Howe was saying.
Man.
That forget about the hierarchy of the club. He said on a number of occasions that he has a very good relationship with ISAK. So ISAK's treated him badly as well. I mean, listen, again, we go back to the broken promises. I'm not saying that there wasn't any promises or there wasn't any verbal agreements given, because we will never really know that. Newcastle have denied it. But what I'm saying is, even if there was an agreement, it's a verbal agreement. Yeah. That's a bit like me saying, Kenya, you know what, if Arsenal win the Premier League this season, I'm going to look after you, man. Yeah. I'm going to give you £250. And when Arsenal win, and you say Laurie, where's my money? I say, oh yeah, you know what? I just said that. At the time, I said it, but don't worry, man.
You're doing my dad with his bets on the up. Like, yeah, man. Okay,
yeah, you know what I mean. Where is it in writing?
Yeah, it's true, man.
And even if it's in writing, it needs to be drawn up in a properly legally binding document that you can say, look, this is what the club agreed. They've reneged on the deal, and as a result, I want to leave the club. And even then, that would have been difficult. Yeah. To what we're seeing now. So the long and short of it is, ISAK has not played this very well at all. Yeah, man. It's a very disappointing situation, because although we're all here talking about it, and
it's sad
because
it's
providing some kind of dark entertainment for other fans. It is sad because, like I said, I did like that whole ISAK story. He's come over here.
He's come over here. He left Sociedad, where he didn't, let's be honest, he didn't pull up trees at Sociedad. No, he scored about 6 goals in the league. He's come to the Premier League, which is a harder league, and he's completely torn it up. He's been absolutely fantastic.
It's been a great story.
He's had the beautiful story with Newcastle in, I've won them their first trophy in about 70 odd years. Like, that's fairy tale stuff. And to go from like that, literally almost like 2-3 months ago, to now, oh, you're a traitor, you're this, you're that, because of how you've acted, because you've got your head turned.
Remember when they beat us in the Carabao Cup?
Yeah, man.
We even said, didn't we? I remember I was on show saying, I want Newcastle to go on and win it. Yeah. It's a great story. ISAK coming there.
I was happy for them when they won it.
Yeah, and you know, Newcastle fans have this big thing about their number 9, you know, the big thing with Shearer and all the rest of it. They love their number 9s. I said it would be great to see Alexander Isak play a role and delivering them their first trophy in, was it 70 odd years or whatever it was? Yeah. He done all that, and now look where we are now. Man. It's a sad end, really.
It is. Well, Ali A says, disagree, future players won't come to Newcastle United. And, you know, what do you think of that?
No, listen, man, Newcastle are a big club. They're a one-city club. They've got a hell of a fan base. They've got very rich owners. They've got a very good manager. They've got very good players.
To go there right now.
Yeah, exactly. So they will, you know, I mean, at some point this will subside, and Newcastle will still be a force to be reckoned with, not just in the Premier League, but in domestic football. Full stop.
It's an attractive project to go to Newcastle right now, and we're talking about a club that's, you know, is on the rise, got a new ownership, got a really good team, good manager. You know, they've just won something. They want to build on that. Do you know what I mean? Like, listen, you have to give props.
Newcastle were a big club before Alexander Isak rocked up there. They'll be a big club after he's left there. Listen, he did great while he was there, while he was playing. And, you know, the relationship was mutually beneficial. But now, like some relationships, it's soured badly. It's been one of the most high-profile and contentious and divorces I've ever seen. You know what I mean? So that's true. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, now 2ATP says, if Isak wants out, he should notify Newcastle that he intends to invoke Article 17 next summer. Newcastle will end up with 50 mil compensation or sell now. So another person basically saying that Newcastle should just cut their losses.
I personally think that Newcastle should do that.
Yeah,
but
and Ali A says again, because they're not allowing players to leave. I mean, other than from what I can think of right now, other than Isak, and again, we need to realise that obviously we're fans, so we're probably thinking of it more of a petty level, but on an actual business perspective, if Alexander Isak leaves, they have no striker. They don't have a backup striker. Do you know what I mean? They've now weakened their front line. So for them, it's not necessarily... It doesn't make sense for them right now to sell him because they still need to bring in players. Like we're going to talk about Yoan Wissa, but he's not at Newcastle yet.
No.
He's another player that's doing an ISAK basically to get to Newcastle. So in Newcastle's mind, it's like you can't just let a player go and not replace him, especially right now. We've started the season, do you know what I mean? So it's harder as well to bring players in because a lot of players are a bit more settled, or maybe all your first choice targets are already gone to other clubs. Like for them, Benjamin Sesko was someone they looked at, Ekitike someone they looked at. Obviously all those targets are gone. So they have to think in their best interest as well as a club.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, listen, man, it does remain to see what happens, but I do think that relationship now is untenable. It really is. Because if ISAK's doubling down like this, I mean, he's actually said in the statement, promises are broken, trust is lost, the relationship cannot continue.
Yeah.
He said that. So unless he's going to do a massive climb down.
Yeah.
And you think about it as well, even if he does pull on that black and white shirt to play, can you really be secure in the knowledge that he's giving his best? Because that's what people are going to say. Every time he misses a chance or misplaces the ball or whatever, the fans are going to think, see, he's not, you know what I mean? He's not fully invested.
That was kind of like that. Wasn't it Gallas that was like to Chelsea, like, yo, you need to sell me, otherwise I'm going to score.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
I mean, he denied that, but that was the rumour
we
at the
know.
time.
I'm just thinking about that now.
He did actually. That did. Well, I'm not saying he actually said it, but there was a rumour.
Obviously, allegedly.
Chelsea put that out, so who knows whether that's true or not.
Yeah, exactly. And Henry says, I think this is a serious case of bullying from Liverpool. They took Newcastle's lunch money and now they want your girlfriend. Hijack Ekitike, now they want ISAK. That's what I said to AGT at the time. AGT was there doing, AGT doing the fake nice guy thing. Yeah, man. So, and I was like, bro, you stepped to them. Do you know what I mean? You basically said to them, yo, you're either going to give me this or this. You either give me the watch or the chain.
They big boyed them. They did big boy them.
Do you know what I mean? And now Liverpool basically saying, yo, we're taking both either way. It's either now or it's either later. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, man.
And he's had his head turned as well. I mean, but then like you said, the minute Liverpool had come in, he should have just done the honourable thing and said, look, Newcastle, I've enjoyed working with you guys, but you know what? This is an opportunity that I can't afford to pass up. Yeah. I'd like to move. Let's see how we can work together to make this happen. He could have said that behind the scenes, and hopefully, I mean, don't get me wrong, Newcastle could still have and would have been within their rights to say, okay, fine, but we need someone in there first. And that's where he needed to be professional and say, right, okay. Cool. Bit like what Eze's doing at the moment with Palace.
You see what he said to the Sky Sports reporter today? That was so funny. Some Sky Sports reporter was behind him, and he says, take a rest. Or
give it a rest.
Yeah, give it a rest. That was so
and he
funny.
did it with a smile.
Yeah, that was actually funny.
Yeah.
Like, as I always say, I go back to Harry Kane. He had a gentleman's agreement to leave Spurs. Daniel Levy basically shafted him. He could have thrown his toys at the pram, but he was ultra professional, and in the end he got his move to Bayern Munich. He wanted to go to Man City and Man United at the time. It didn't happen. Of course, like, what happened to him was unfortunate, but he was the ultimate professional, and look, it's worked out in the end. Do you know what I mean?
Lifted another trophy the other day for Bayern.
And it goes to show that these verbal agreements, look at Victor Gyökeres. I even said throughout the time, if I'm being honest, I'm happy that he joined Arsenal, but the way he went about it isn't the right way.
No.
Even when Trossard joined us, falling out with Brighton and that, like, you look at players like, right, I'm happy to have you, but not the best way to leave a club.
Listen, I've said it before, players are funny animals. They play in a team game, but they're very much individuals, especially the players at the top echelons of the game, the very talented players. They know their value, they know what they're worth. They've got egos, and if they want to go somewhere and they feel it's not right, player power is at a level such now where they can do certain things to engineer a move away. Yeah. And some of them are not are not shy in doing that. You know what I mean? So, but I still think that even with all of what we've just said there, I still think that ISAK has got this wrong.
Yeah, man. Well, someone similar to ISAK is Yoan Wissa. and funny enough, he wants to join Newcastle.
Yeah.
I mean, apparently...
How ironic is that?
Yeah, apparently Newcastle today bid 35 million plus 5 million add-ons for Yoan Wissa, but Brentford are basically saying no one's given out a target price for what they want for Yoan Wissa, and obviously he's really pushing to leave. He wants to leave by the end of the window. He doesn't want to continue at Brentford. We've already seen how he's basically wiped Brentford completely from his Instagram, from his socials. Again, this is another kind of player similar to Alexander Isak, who's almost thrown his toys out the pram.
Oh, he has spectacularly.
Again,
he told the club he don't want to play for anymore. He said he's going on strike.
Well, and he is.
He is on strike, effectively, and now he's wiped his whole, as if Brentford don't exist. I mean, all I would say to that as well is that, when they talk about relationships and they say how you get them is how you lose them. You know what I mean? So I guess it's that what goes around comes around stuff. You made it, that irony you just expressed there is so true. Like, if Wissa comes in to replace Isak, how ironic is that? You got one player that's behaved badly.
Yeah.
And you're bringing in another player that's behaved just as badly.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's football for you, man. That's football.
It is. I mean, do you think he's going to join Newcastle?
Yeah, I probably do.
Yeah.
I mean, it would appear though that his pathway to leaving Brentford is easier than Isak's is at Newcastle, because Brentford have managed to take the sting out of it a little bit.
Yeah.
Even though Wissa has clearly disrespected them, they've not. Their situation is, from what I can see from the outside looking in, is not quite as egregious.
Yeah. Or
not quite as contentious. Brentford are kind of letting blow off steam and said, okay, you say what you want, but you're not going until, you know what I mean? But it's not been that back and forth. It's not been as high profile. So I would imagine that Brentford quietly are probably thinking, I can't wait to get rid of this guy. But at the same time, the deal has got to be right. I could see him going to Newcastle. And if that does happen, then maybe the Newcastle hierarchy will say, okay, right, now we've got a replacement. Maybe not the ideal replacement, but we've got a replacement.
Someone.
But we've got somebody to play up top, and then we'll just let Isak go. And then even then, I think they'll try and hold out for a bit more money than what Liverpool was saying.
I'm not being funny. 40 million for Yoan Wissa's cheap, in my opinion. If we're considering what almost everybody else has gone for, I don't know how. I think he's got a year left, maybe. So that's probably why it's a bit less. But obviously, Brentford will probably think, right, I think Brentford will definitely sell him as well. They're probably thinking, right, we don't want to lose this guy for nothing. And also, Newcastle want him. I know before Forest really wanted him as well, but might as well try and get a good amount of money for him and then reinvest that into getting someone else, which they've done really well. I mean, as we were saying before, they got Wissa from Lorient, which is, a French team. And they're a good club in terms of being able to spend small amounts and actually get in really good quality players.
You are right about that. Having said that, though, they're not in a good space at the moment because they've lost two. Well, they're about to lose two. They lost in Buemo. They lost. They were about to lose Wissa, but they've lost Norgard. Also, they lost the architect behind all of that, Thomas Frank. They've got a new manager at the club now that has no managerial experience. And I've got to be honest, man, it's not looking great for Brentford right now. So they probably need to get that. They need to get Wissa out of there soon and start planning ahead because they're in a pretty precarious position. In fact, they could be in trouble if they don't get that sorted soon.
I don't know if you watched their game against Forest. Did you
I saw the extended highlights.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Forest away it's a very hard away day.
It is.
But they got destroyed, man. I think that 3-1 was even flattering. Do you know what I mean?
So they need to get Wissa out the door as soon as possible. Even though he's not behaved at all well, deplorably actually, but they need to just take that on the chin, see if they can get as much money from him as possible and move on to the next project as soon as possible, because like I said, they look like they could be in trouble this season. Yeah, no, I do agree with that. But you know what, let's go a bit closer to home now. Yeah. Because we've also got some bad news. Yeah, we have. Kai Havertz is injured. I mean, David Ornstein reported. I went to the training session this morning at the Emirates, watched the players train, and I was thinking, where's Kai Havertz? But I was like, okay, whatever, he's probably not here. Ben White also wasn't there.
then David Ornstein drops he's sidelined for a spell with a knee injury, and that basically Arsenal are looking back into the market. So that straight away came, I don't know about you, but that straight away comes across to me that he's out for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I just finished a boxing video that on my channel, LL Sports TV, quick plug. Yeah, so I just finished a boxing video and switched my phone on, and my son Daryl called me and he said, "Oh, have you seen the Havertz news?" I'm like, "What's that?" You know what I mean? I'm like, what's that?
Yeah.
He said, "Yeah, he's injured." I go, "Oh, you're joking." So I'm thinking that when he told me injured, I thought, oh, maybe it's a knock he picked up in training or from the game last weekend. It's not. So he goes, "Oh, it's a knee injury," and they're saying it could be serious. I'm like, oh my gosh, no, man. You know what I mean? That's the last thing we need.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was very surprised and obviously disappointed. And I think Arsenal now, I mean, they're going to have to, whether they like it or not, try and address it through the transfer window. But I was thinking about that with this whole thing with Trossard.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense now.
Yeah, now I'm kind of thinking maybe that's what the catalyst for him getting the new deal was.
Yeah, because at first we're thinking, right, we all know that we Arsenal need a left winger. That's a non-negotiable essentially, right? Trossard is coming towards the end of his contract. He's also 30 years old, fantastic servant, but he also has value because a lot of clubs are interested in him. It's best to... We believed as well he wasn't trying to sign a new contract, so it's best to sell him rather than let him go for free. And as well, we can put that money that we get for it towards a new left winger.
Right.
But then we find out he signed... He's got a new deal, he's got a pay rise. And at first I was like, this makes no sense. As someone who wants Trossard to stay, I think there's other people we should be trying to sell first over Trossard, in my opinion. But I was like, this doesn't really make sense. But now you understand, if Kai Havertz is going to potentially be out for a long time, which by the sounds of it, sounds like that.
Yeah, I mean, it was a strange one. When I heard about the Trossard news, I couldn't help but think that... because obviously I didn't know about Havertz at the time, so I was looking at it because fans, we always look for underlying reasons.
Yeah.
So as soon as that came out about Trossard signing a new deal, but it's not been extended, he's just going to get more money, I thought that's a weird deal.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't show that you really wanting to keep him that much.
Yeah. Is
it because they're not going to get Eze and there's no plan to get Rodrigo or anybody else, and they're thinking, okay, Trossard and Martinelli and Madueke will fight it out for that left-hand sided position. That's it, no more deals. And then when I heard this morning now about the Havertz thing, now I'm thinking, so that's what it is.
Yeah.
Because we've seen previously where Trossard has played through the middle, or he's been that false nine.
Yeah, he's a hybrid front three player.
So they're thinking, we'll keep Trossard at the club because, we need reinforcements in that area.
Yeah.
So obviously the club have not said anything like that, and I don't expect them to, but I'm kind of thinking that keeping Trossard at the club makes sense because he can cover for that left side and he can play through the middle in that false nine should he need to. I mean, I would imagine that with Havertz not being there, the internal solutions, as Mikel Arteta likes to describe it, is Marino and Trossard. Yeah,
well, I mean...
Because obviously Jesus is nowhere near ready yet.
Yeah, obviously he did his ACL. We're not going to see Gabby Jesus till the end of the year.
No.
Earliest, if we're being honest. But yeah, also I think if you've just lost potentially one of your senior players in Havertz, who, whether you like him or not, he's a German international, he's a seasoned professional in the Premier League. And he is an important player for Arsenal, whether people want to argue that or not. You can't just then let another almost seasoned professional go and not do you know what I mean? I understand now why Trossard was kept.
Yeah, it's all starting to make sense because yesterday he wasn't making too much sense. Like I said, I was kind of looking at it as they're not going to bring in a left-sided winger or midfielder. Yeah, because obviously we know the SA thing is not happening. So I was kind of thinking, okay, that means that they're not going to do anything about that side. They ain't got the money to pursue any other options. Disappointing, but hey, now with the Havertz thing, it's starting to make more sense. Although some people have said, shout out to my boy Curtis, he said that
C-Unit.
C-Unit. He said, could it be that Arsenal might, because they have the Ornstein statement did say that Arsenal are prepared to look into transfer market. I mean, could it be someone like Nicholas Jackson could be on his way
I was literally about to mention this. Well, Nicholas Jackson, as we know, as I was saying yesterday, is a left winger but plays striker.
Yeah.
And essentially, we need both of them things.
That's right.
He's out of favour at Chelsea. You know Arsenal have a cheeky shop at Chelsea.
Yeah.
But the only issue with that is that Arsenal as well, they want to sell players. They're not trying to buy anyone as of right now, from what we know. So at best, it could potentially be a loan, but that could even include a loan to buy or sign. I mean, I don't know about you.
I guess it would depend as well as how long Havertz has been out. I mean, the club have not said.
Yeah,
they said
it's an early prognosis, and they're still basically investigating
it doesn't
the duration
sound good,
of what
knees. Whenever you hear footballers getting knee injuries and stuff like that, it's normally some months, isn't it?
Yeah.
So let's see, but it doesn't look good, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's worrying.
I feel sorry for Havertz as well, because
so do I, man.
During the summer, the man has spent time in the gym, bulking up, trying to get the best out of himself.
Yeah.
Scored a really good goal in pre-season that impressed a lot of people, including me.
He's looked sharp since.
Yeah.
I think even when he came on against United, he looked all right. He didn't have a lot of time, but you know.
So for this to happen to him is a great shame, especially the season just started and bang.
And you think as well, I don't know about you, but in my personal opinion, Victor Gyökeres, he's not fit yet. He's not up to speed. He's not had a real he played essentially one pre-season game with Arsenal. He still needs to get up to speed. We saw that against Man United. He played about 60 minutes before he came off. So obviously to lose someone who essentially has played striker for Arsenal for the last 2-3 seasons for a long time as well it's a massive blow for the club. For sure.
Let's hope that he gets well soon.
Yeah.
And hopefully the injury is not as bad as what is being speculated.
Yeah. Air says Newcastle will be in sabotage before the season even starts. And 40-year-old Virgil says, Uncle Laurie, what's the difference between ISAK and Gyökeres?
Yeah, a lot of people say that. Come on, man. There's a big difference. I mean, look, when Gyökeres threw his toys out of the pram, and listen, he did behave less than professionally, but let's be honest with ourselves. He was pretty much out the door and on his way to Arsenal when a lot of this stuff happened. I think what Gyökeres was agitating to get the deal done. He wanted to get the deal done as soon as possible, whereas it would appear that his club, Porto, were holding out for a bit more money.
Yeah,
Sorry, not Porto, Sporting were holding out for some more money, which is fine, you know what I mean? They felt that they had an asset that was being undervalued. They wanted some more money. Gyökeres did his level best to try and get that deal done as soon as possible. Again, he spoke about agreements and verbal agreements and so forth, which I've already said is not but legally binding. So don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that Gyökeres conducted himself in the best possible light, because he didn't. Right, and he wouldn't be the only one. He's not going to be the first or the last to do that. But the ISAK thing is a big difference. This man literally has gone on strike. He took himself out of the country unbeknownst, didn't get permission to do so. He's gone on strike. He's released a statement saying that promises were broken. The relationship was broken down irretrievably. So it's a lot more egregious than what Gyökeres did, in my humble opinion. What do you think?
In my opinion, I think the way Gyökeres went about, I guess as well, we have to remember when this was happening, there was no games on per se. Like, I guess right now there's Premier League games happening, but he was on holiday for the wide majority of this period. But what I would say is that I do think he should have went to training, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, he should have.
I do think there's ways to leave a club, and I think for someone like Victor Gyökeres, you've just won the league at Sporting twice. You're seen as, you know, one of my friends is a massive Sporting fan. She's Portuguese, and she was talking about how well loved he is at Sporting, and she was saying, look, we don't hate him or anything, but obviously like the way he left wasn't the best way. But I just think like he could have went to training. I do think he could have went to training, but he did also put in a lot to make the move happen. Like he gave
I felt that he was agitating for the move, so he started to come out with certain things that he thought. But it's not
that much. I would say it's not that much. It's not that much different to what ISAK is doing, but he didn't.
I don't know, man.
Did he put out?
Did he put out a statement saying that? You know what I mean?
I think he said something like, "Oh, I'll speak on what happens." Yeah. He didn't actually go into details of anything.
Yeah. So like I said, don't get me wrong, he didn't behave professionally.
Yeah, it wasn't a professional. If it was me, look, if I was a professional, the way I'd try and go about it is probably how Eze and Harry Kane are doing right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just think I signed a contract for a certain amount of time. I'm at this club. It doesn't matter if a previous sporting director or this person or that person promised me. I'm employed at whatever club it is. If I want to move, I'll try and sort that out behind the scenes with my agent. I'll give up money if necessary. Do you know what I mean?
And it should also be noted as well that it's not just the players. It's football at the top level. So we've seen, for example, the way PSG treated Donnarumma when they wanted him out. So it works both ways as well. All we're doing is just analysing the ISAK situation in isolation. It's not it's not been handled very well by the player. But clubs, when they want to get rid of somebody, let's not get it twisted. They can be just as ruthless. But that still doesn't hide the fact that ISAK has not played this very well, in my view.
Morimi, I don't know how to say your name, bro. Morimimi says, please talk about Wesley Fofana news. Again, another player that wiped his Instagram of everything Chelsea. Like, you start to, I don't know if Chelsea fans in the chat want to say if he's linked away somewhere. I haven't really seen anything if he's been linked away, but we're talking about another player that Chelsea spent a lot of money to get you in. And you've played, I saw a stat, apparently he's only played 35 games in the 3 years he's been there. That's not even a season.
I think with Fofana, don't we have to give him the benefit of the doubt on that one so far? Because it's since emerged that there might have been a problem with his social media.
Nah, man.
That's what I'm hearing.
Not too sure about them thing, you know. Yeah, but then...
Did you hear that?
Nah, but not being funny, then surely all of your pictures would be gone, innit? Not just all the Chelsea ones.
Yeah,
but how come the Leicester ones and the St Etienne ones and that, and how come Chelsea's not in your bio and all that? Do you know what I mean? Like, come on.
It is a bit strange. Yeah. But again, man, with this player power thing is a real thing. I think you're going to see more of this, especially if ISAK and Wissa get their moves.
Yeah.
That's not exactly going to deter players from. They're going to look at it and think, well, okay, he went through the heat, but he got what he wanted in the end.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So bad behaviour can sometimes be rewarded, unfortunately.
Sadiq says, Sporting are a selling club who were being greedy. Newcastle always maintained they wanted to keep ISAK. Big difference. Yeah, that's fair as well, I guess. Obviously, Sporting at first basically tried to fleece Arsenal. Like, yo, we want 100 mil.
That's what I'm saying.
Then it dropped to 80 mil. And then essentially Arsenal bought Victor Gyökeres for 63.5 mil. Whereas I guess with Newcastle, they have actually been very consistent from the start of actually, no, this guy's not for sale. We're not going to be bullied into it. So there's that.
And like you said earlier, it was a last minute. By all accounts, ISAK had given assurances behind the scenes that he was happy to stay. Obviously, he's going to dispute that now. And then when the Ekitike and all that stuff came out, that's when he said, I want to explore my options.
Yeah.
So he did it quite late in the day. Whereas with Gyökeres, he was being linked with Arsenal for weeks.
I guess as well with Gyökeres, he did stay an extra season as well. So I think as well, when we talk about this gentleman's agreement, I find that
this gentleman's
agreement is absolute rubbish in my opinion. Get it on writing. But apparently he was promised to be allowed to leave Sporting the season before, but he stayed basically to help Sporting win the league again. So I guess in his mind he's like, right, is this how my faith was repaid? I
fulfilled my obligations,
But Claver says if ISAK was doing this so he could force a move to Chelsea, the media would be calling out Chelsea for ruining football. It is Liverpool, so ...
There is some mileage in that.
I do think though, can you blame Liverpool though? They're just doing what's best for their club. They've got the money, they're financially flexing, fair enough. They want to win back-to-back titles, and they're, in my opinion, they're favourites to do so because of how they've moved in the window as well and how they've looked. Is it their fault that Alexander Isak can't be professional?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Think about all the other players this window that have had maybe a club bid for them. Doesn't mean they straight away turn around and say, right, I'm not going into work tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? They've still been professional. They've still locked in. I know
Madrid do it all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
They drip feed, we're interested. Next thing you know, a player's head's been turned, and that sets in place a chain of events.
Yeah, exactly, man.
So, there you go.
But yeah, let's just quickly talk about some other clubs. Obviously, Man City, we just mentioned. We spoke about Manuel Akanji yesterday, how Galatasaray are really interested in him. Apparently, City and Galatasaray have an agreement now, but there's nothing on the player's side yet. It's not decided. He's not really said that he wants to leave, or he's not decided he wants to leave as of now. We know Pep already is one of those managers where he said, look, I'm not going to stand in the way for a player to leave, which, to be honest, I kind of agree with. I just think, especially someone as amazing as Pep, he'll find someone better, if not. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
although you also have to take into account that that's fine on Pep's point of view, but from the club's point of view, it always has to make business sense.
Yeah.
They're not just going to give away players just because.
If they get a good fee for a Akanji, then why not?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but
I see what you're
the
saying,
business
yeah.
would have to be right. So even though Pep is, you know, we know that he's the type of guy that if you express some kind of disappointment or look like you want to leave, he'll say, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is that it's not Pep's money, is it?
Yeah, exactly. Well,
but yeah, I mean, it would appear that Akanji looks to be on his way. Yeah. I'm surprised, you know. I thought they might want to keep him because defensively, you would have thought they do need cover.
Yeah, that was one of their weaknesses last season. I mean, they've been able to get Rico Lewis to sign a new deal. He was linked away to Forest where they actually bid for him, but now he's staying till 2030, so that's really good. They've brought in Aït-Nouri, which is fantastic. Obviously, they brought in Kusanov, I think, in January. They've still got John Stones, Ruben Diaz, Gvardiol, Ake. So maybe they might look at it and be like, I don't know if they've got any youth players.
I don't think Akanji had his greatest season last season either, so maybe Pep might be thinking.
But then none of that defence really did, to be honest.
Because Kusanov didn't impress me last season either.
Yeah, he
made a few blunders, didn't he?
Yeah, I think, to be fair to him,
his first season.
Yeah, he was really young. I remember Pep just put him in, I think it was against Liverpool. Just threw him in against Liverpool, and you could tell he wasn't ready. Ake had injury issues. Obviously, John Stones is very injury prone. Ruben Diaz as well, by his standards, didn't have a good season either. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if Akanji will leave, to be honest. I just think he's not said he wants to leave. It's just Galatasaray basically said, yeah, we like him. City said, well, yeah, if he says yeah, then you can have him for the right price.
Yeah, it's a weird one, but yeah, I'd be a bit surprised if they let him leave, but I guess it's on Akanji, isn't it? If he feels that, you know, the time is right for him to move, then I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah, man. And then another club that we have to big up, Nottingham Forest. I mean, I don't know about you, their business this summer has been very good. They lost Antti Elanga, but the way they've been building on that, they brought in Amari Hutchinson, they brought in 2 Brazilian strikers from Botafogo, and they've gone and signed Douglas Luiz of Juventus.
Yeah, I mean, saw that.
That's a fantastic signing.
And not only that, they've retained the services of Hudson-Odoi and Morgan Gibbs-White.
And Chris
virtue of the chairman pulling up and saying, listen, you're not going nowhere. Maybe Newcastle need a chairman like that.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, I mean, with regards to Forest, I mean, they did look good as well, by the way, at the weekend. They look like a solid club, innit?
Yeah, man. They've got a good manager. They've got a great fan base. Do you know what I mean? I mean, they've
fit for purpose.
Yeah, they look good, and obviously they've got a big season this season. They're going to be in Europe again for I don't know how many years they've been out of Europe, but
they got the Europa League spot because of what happened at Palace. But, you know, that's not their fault. And they just look solid, innit?
Yeah, they look
like
good,
one of
man.
those clubs
they've kept
where
Murillo.
No nonsense.
Yeah.
They've got good players, good manager, good structure, good fans. They just look like a proper Premier League club.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think, you know, they've not really gotten the praise maybe necessarily that they deserve. I think that's as well, a lot of people have been like, oh, they're not going to be anywhere near what they were last season. And I think actually you can't really say that right now because their business looks pretty good.
It does.
You know,
I think they took a lot of people by surprise last season. And to be fair, they did. They fell away a little bit towards the end. They kind of ran out of legs.
But they still overachieved.
But they still overachieved, and they've sought to improve this season, which is one thing we always say on these shows is that you cannot afford to stagnate because effectively when you stagnate, you're actually going backwards because everyone's looking to improve, and that's what they've done. And like I said, solid Premier League club. Be interesting to see how they go this season. Yeah,
man, I'm excited for them. I wonder. I don't know who they've got next, but I mean, the way they're going right now, fair to them. But you know what? Let's just quickly wrap up on PFA Team of the Year, because obviously we started off talking about the PFAs with Alexander Isak. Obviously, the team came out yesterday of who was in it. I'm just trying to get it up now. But this is the PFA Team of the Year. So Matt Sells of Nottingham Forest in goal, Virgil van Dijk. Why did they put it in this order? Okay, I'm assuming William Saliba, Milos Kerkez, Gabriel, Declan Rice, Ryan Gravenberch, Alexis McAllister, Mo Salah, Alexander Isak and Chris Wood. That is the team.
No City players in there.
Yeah, no City players in there. No Chelsea players.
No Chelsea. Couple of Forest players.
Yeah.
3 Arsenal players, right?
Yeah.
That's all right.
I think 4 Liverpool players in there. I mean, what do you think of that team?
It's a solid team, then.
Yeah, man. You think about
I'm surprised, though. I don't know, man. I thought David Raya might have got in there.
But then, look, obviously we've got.
But Sells was outstanding.
Yeah, Matt Sells was fantastic. It's hard to pull them both apart. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what? I've got no argument with Sells being in there.
I guess some people were complaining that there's no Bruno Fernandes in there. But they're not. Don't get me right. I said Bruno Fernandes has had a really good individual season.
That's right.
How do you make PFA Team of the Year when you finish 17th?
Well, I was about to say that.
In the worst ever United team. Can you? Is it right for you to do that? Because then I guess it's hard, isn't it?
And it's a team, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
it's a team effort. But then I guess in the same breath, I guess it's young player of the year. But Liam Delap was in there. I mean, but I guess for him, it's his breakout season. He did get relegated, but it's breakout season. He scored about 13 goals.
Yeah, he
really impressed.
He did impress.
But
I've got no real arguments with that team, to be honest. I think that's probably a fair reflection.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any real glaring omissions there, is there?
No, not really. I think there's obviously honourable mentions. So I think Mbeumo was fantastic. I thought Wissa was fantastic. I thought Cunha had a good season. But if I'm being honest, do any of those players that I named trump the likes of Isak, Chris Wood?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe a Rice or a McAllister or a Gravenberch. I'm not really sure they do. If I'm being very honest.
And
but
even though
Saliba
and Gabriel together is interesting because that partnership is very solid.
Yeah. And
Arsenal conceded the least amount of goals in the Premier League
you think about it, Murillo could be in there, Milenkovic was fantastic.
Exactly, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of other defenders that were really good as well, a lot of fullbacks. I think someone that goes under the radar a bit is Anthony Robinson of Fulham.
Yeah.
I think he had a good season, but he maybe didn't end the season how he maybe wanted to. But I'm pretty sure he got
that's voted on by the players then?
Yeah, I think the players will vote for it. I'm not too sure actually. That's a good question.
Is it the players or the writers that vote for it? I'm not sure.
I'm assuming it's the players. But yeah, and then obviously Mo Salah, he won Player of the Year, deserved. 3 times. He's the first player to do it 3 times, which is fantastic.
Although I think Isak could have been in the running for that award.
Yeah, I think he probably was nominated, but I think Mo Salah, he scored 20 goals in the league, 18 assists. He won the league as well.
I'm just thinking of the impact that Isak had over the season, that he was able to help deliver their first trophy in so many years.
Yeah, that's fair.
Whereas Liverpool were used to winning honours. For Newcastle, that was,
True say, but
that all seems a long time ago now.
Yeah, man, forever ago. And then obviously Morgan Rogers won Young Player of the Year as well.
Yeah, he's another excellent player.
Yeah, I said already, when I first saw the nominations, I said that's the person that... I love Miles, but he kind of came through halfway through the season as well.
Yeah, he was brilliant.
Morgan Rogers from start to finish was excellent, and he's been absolutely incredible. So big them up, do you know what I mean? But yeah, well, that's it for today. We had a good little chat.
Yeah, we did. No doubt there's, tomorrow
will probably
something else will happen.
Maybe a video submission from Alexander Isak saying straight to camera, please Newcastle, free me. Let me go.
I'll tell you what though, that game on Monday will be interesting.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be. I'm so excited for that.
Yeah,
actually.
man. I mean, that is gonna be talk about.
Is
Cauldron.
it at St James's Park?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I'm
talk
excited
about
for
Cauldron.
that, man. Yeah.
And especially as well when you think about it, like the Liverpool fans that go to that game, when you go to Newcastle, you're stuck up.
Yeah,
with
man.
gods.
Exactly.
So it will
Isak
just be
Derby.
like 60,000 Geordies just baying for blood.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, man, that is a very, very... The heat in that game is going to be, wow.
It's going to be...
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that as well.
Yeah.
Even, remember last year, I think they drew, innit? They drew like 3-3 or something. Even
Some
that
of the
was
tackles
exciting.
that will be flying in
Yeah,
there.
man.
Oh, it's proper
exactly.
tasty.
They're putting it out on the line, man.
Yeah, man, that's that game should come with a parental warning. Parental guidance warning, man, for that one. PG, because boy,
it's going to be sick.
That's going to be hot.
Yeah, but I just want to thank everyone for watching. Thank you to everyone that sent in a super chat as well. Big you guys up. Make sure to like, subscribe, put in your comments down below as well. Subscribe to LL Sports TV.
Please do.
You know, go over there, check out Laurie Moore, boxing, football, everything.
Yep.
And yeah, we'll be back tomorrow 5 p.m. I think AGT will be back, so you can hear a bit more of a Liverpool thought process on this whole thing.
I'm sure he will present the Liverpool view in his unbiased and way that he, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
His unbiased and impartial views will be something to behold, I'm sure.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.